Videos, that's what I'm going to talk about today. When you're marketing your business, it's very hard to market it these days without it involving you getting on video. Now, if you're like me and you're really nervous on getting on video, I'm here to give you some quick tips. So that's what this coffee break is about today. All right. So you might be someone like I used to be, right? Where you record a video and you want it to be absolutely perfect. You're a perfectionist. You go through the take, you stumble on your words, you redo it, and then you redo it and you redo it. And a 30-second video could take you the whole afternoon. Guilty as charged. I used to do this all the time. I was a perfectionist and I was also just terrified on camera. Soon as the camera turned on, my brain would just empty and forget everything I was supposed to say. Absolutely hated it. I couldn't get used to this whole thing of looking at this little pinhole camera instead of a person, right? And it is really difficult to actually talk to some inanimate object when it's supposed to look like you're actually speaking to a person because I'm speaking to you. I can't see you right now, but you're watching this video. All I can see is the camera lens. It's not that natural. So it's quite understandable for a lot of people to be really nervous when getting on camera. I completely get it. As I said, I was exactly the same way. And I just really found it difficult. But I knew that if I was going to be operating my business and I was going to promote it online, I had to get over that fear pretty quickly. So how did I do it? Right. So this was during COVID, actually. Um, and really, yeah, you just want to, look at, okay, let me tell you, just backtrack a minute. I'll just give you an example of how bad I was, right? So there was one time a coach asked me to record no, well, he asked me to give him a testimonial. And I said, yeah, sure, no problem. I'll write you something tonight. He said, no, 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 Ange, I want you to record it on video. And I was like, no, I don't want to record it in video. He said, yeah, you have to record it on video. And so I started to record, and he said he just wanted 30 seconds. So I started to record a 30-second video, and I stumbled on my words. So I stopped and I started again, and I stopped and I started again, stopped, started again. And this went on and on and on. And it really did take me all afternoon to do. I think I've got a bit of a lag on this recording. I'm not quite sure why. I've got two things going on at the same time. I think, but let's carry on. Just hope it works out okay. All right, so yeah, so as I said, it took me all afternoon, and by the time I was happy with a version, the lighting had changed in the room. It had gone from afternoon to early evening. The lighting had changed. It got dark. I had to start again. So that's how bad I was. All right, so I knew I had to do something about it. So what did I do? And this is my recommendation to you. If you are nervous about being on camera. So I'm fortunate to say there's no quick fix, easy solution. You've just got to get over it. Just get over it, right? How do you do that? How do you do that? Well, basically, it's through a lot of practice. So what I did during COVID, I had some clients of mine that were willing to sign up for a 21-day video challenge. I called it my Find Your Voice Challenge, where I just invited them to join me every day for 21 days to record their own video along with me. So what it was it was a challenge where I would record a video with, I had 21 tips on video. So it involved either equipment that you needed to use, lighting, camera composition, angles, uh, sound, there's all sorts of things, all the technical things around being on camera, things like moving your hands, all that kind of stuff. So I had 21 tips. So every day I gave them a different tip and I recorded that tip on camera and I did it live. They turned up live every day. That was the way I did it. So that was like killing two birds with one stone. One, getting on camera and speaking, and two, doing it live, right? So when you do it live, there's no retakes, right? So what I did was I did it live 21 days. in a row every day for 21 days. They turned up at a certain time every day. I was live, recorded it at the same time, and I gave them instructions. I gave them the teaching for that day of what that tip was for getting better on camera. And then I gave them a recording of homework that I wanted them to do. So I gave them a sample video that I wanted them to make as homework. So they would come to the live, watch the tip, then they would they would look at the video homework, which was pre-recorded. They'd look at that video and then they would do a similar kind of video for homework. And that went into Facebook group. So, and it was a private Facebook group. So only the people doing the challenge could see the videos. It wasn't public. So it was a way for my clients and for me to record a video and put it up somewhere that was private. It wasn't released live, as you say. It wasn't released on any social media platform except for the private group. So in that way, it was a safe environment for them. They didn't feel that they were being embarrassed with their videos. They knew it was a safe place to practice. And really, that's the name of the game. It's practice. The more you practice, and that consistency of doing that same action day after day after day, that leads to, I wouldn't say perfection. I don't want to use the word perfection, but it leads to you being fairly competent at doing it, because by the end of the 21st day, you're no longer got any of those fears that you had. So yes, it's awkward at the beginning, but then we could see as people progress them getting more and more relaxed on camera and being able to record their homework. And the difference between day 1 and day 21 was a very stark difference. So really the lesson here is that repetition removes the fear. You've just got to get used to it. You've just got to be in a position where you are used to seeing yourself on camera. That's awful. Hearing yourself on camera, that's terrible, right? It's not something that's natural in our lives. So getting over that fear is just practice, 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 just doing it day after day after day. Okay. And that's what I did. So at the end of the 21 days, no more worries being on camera. Okay. And literally, I swear I was so phobic before those 21 days, so phobic. So if I can do it, and I am really an introvert, and I grew up in an era where being on a kind of movie screen, if you like, a moving screen, was for Hollywood stars. It wasn't for normal people, right? So it wasn't a situation I was very comfortable with at all, and I'd never done in my life. So it was a big learning curve. It was really stepping way out of the comfort zone to get this done. But I promise you, you can do it. So I want that for you. I want you to be able to get on camera. If that's what you need to do for your business, then, you know, you've just got to get it done. Just get it done. But it's easier said than done. But if you do it, you're going to get it done. I know that sounds weird, but it's the truth, right? So what I want you to do, or what you can do, just as an example, and then when you've done it, let me know in the comments how you're getting along. How does it work for you? What are your challenges? Celebrate your wins when you actually get a video up that you're proud of. Just let us know. But what I want to do is I want to give you a challenge, and I want you to do a daily video. So promise yourself that every day you're going to, at some point during the day, record a video, maybe 3 minutes long. That's it. Okay. But then you don't have to post it. Just record it and watch it. Record and watch, record and watch. And then you'll get used to seeing, you'll get used to seeing and hearing yourself on camera. So it will become more comfortable for you. You're not going to like it, but it'll become more comfortable for you. And also each day as you watch it, you'll begin to notice what works and what doesn't work. Have you got particular mannerisms that, are distracting on camera? So you want to kind of reduce those, trying to get rid of, and I'm a big I don't know what to say here. I'm guilty of this. Right? I'm saying it all the time. I said it several times, multiple times through this video. I do it all the time. There's AI software now that just removes it, but I'm not going to do that on this video. But you want to just realize what you tend to do that can be distracting and try to be conscious about cutting it out as you practice day after day. I'm not as bad with my ums as I used to be. I'm still pretty bad, but I'm not as bad as I was. Stop aiming for perfection. That's the next thing. Um, um, right? Stop aiming for perfection. So before I would have edited all of this out, I would have edited the ums out manually before we had the AI software to do it. But I would say just don't aim for perfection. Just aim to get the video out. And I promise you, people aren't going to notice. They're not going to be critical. They're not going to judge you because they're getting on with their life. They don't care about your life necessarily. So you just want to get the video done and just be proud of who you are, own yourself kind of thing, and just get it done. Look at progress over perfection. You don't have to get it 100. Well, you're not going to get it 100% right because you'll never be 100% satisfied with it anyway. So let's be realistic there. But as long as it does its job, it communicates what you want to communicate, that's good enough. Don't beat yourself up about it. It's not worth it. I promise you, it's not worth it. So next one I would say as well, other advice is minimal editing. Minimal editing. What I do when I get on camera every time I get on camera is I aim to have whatever I filmed just go out as I filmed it. I really don't edit an awful lot. One, I just find it's a complete waste of my time. And you're more authentic when you're doing something that's not a great masterpiece. It's not a Hollywood version video with lots of cutaways and captions and B-rolls and all that kind of stuff. Yes, you can do that as well. But I would say for the purpose of you just getting good on camera, that's not necessary. Just film yourself. That's it. You don't have to do your editing. You don't need all these fancy transitions and all that kind of stuff. What I tend to do is I just edit the beginning and the end. I just chop those bits off when I edit because I look as miserable as sin before the camera. Well, as the camera starts to roll, I'm like, right, and then hey, hello, right. So I usually don't manage to get my miserable face off the screen before the filming starts. So I usually have to cut that off manually. And then the end, usually I fluff up. So I do that as well. But everything in the middle, I just leave it as it is. And sometimes I don't even bother with the beginning and end as well. So it really depends. What you can do, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, is you can use AI video editing software. There's loads of them out there now that do a really good job, where you can edit out all of the filler words like and that kind of stuff. So they're quite effective. It does make your video look a little bit choppy, but I think people now are used to watching videos like that. They understand that that's what's being done. It's okay if you want to do that. So sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. So as I said, on this video, I'm not doing it. And I don't think it's necessary. You just want to keep you being you and just be real as you. Okay. And then think of your video like a conversation, not a performance. So don't be unnatural on the video. It's hard to, I know it's hard, I know it's hard, I know it's hard, but try not to be unnatural. I know the tendency as soon as that camera rolls that you tend to turn into somebody you don't know, right? It happens. Okay, I know it does. But just think of it as having a conversation with that person on the other side of the camera. Try and imagine someone on the other side of the camera so that you're having that conversation. And then once you've done it, you put it up, post it, and you move on. Move on, right? Don't dwell on it. Don't obsess over it. Don't, when it's live or when it's on your social media channels, don't go back and watch it and then decide to take it down later because you're being too critical of yourself. Post, move on. Okay. It is not a big deal. I know you think it is when you're recording it, but it's not a big deal. Okay. So I hope that's kind of giving you a bit of a perspective on what you should do. So just as a sum up, give yourself a challenge to do 21 days of recording the video every day. You don't have to post it, just record it, watch it back so that you're aware of how you're appearing, what things you can improve, and try and work on improving those. Then you want to not aim for perfection. Once it's done, it's done. You don't need to go back and do any heavy edits. I would resist doing heavy edits. You can do some minor edits if you must. You can remove your fillers, chop the beginning and the end so it all looks quite neat. Other than that, really, you don't have to do the editing. Think of it as a conversation. Imagine someone on the other end of the screen. You're not doing a performance like this, right? You know, you're not doing that. You're just having a conversation with someone. And then post and move on. Post and move on, right? So as I said, I challenge you to do that now. It takes time. It's going to take 21 days, right? Just give yourself that grace, be patient, give yourself a 21 days. Every day you're going to see that you're going to get better and better and better. And at the end of 21 days, you'll probably be so fed up with it anyway, you're not going to care what you look like, right? No overthinking. Do not overthink this. And just think as well of that once you master this, once you get over that initial fear and discomfort, and then you get to the stage where you can just, like I'm doing today, just turn on the camera, roll and talk, your business is going to be so much better for it, and you're going to look authentic. Okay. And if you want any accountability on this, then put a message, hit me up and give me a link to the video, and I will give you some comments on it as well. So let's get rid of that perfectionism. Perfectionism does not belong in your business. There's no such thing, because nothing is ever, ever perfect. It never will be, because we're our own worst critics. Not going to happen, right? So just a leaving note really on this is, because the whole thing is about perfection, it's how we judge ourselves and how we think other people are going to judge us. And if you can just leave the perfection behind, leave the perfectionism behind, and just work on authenticity, and just know that whatever you've put out, it's good enough. It's good enough, and you're good enough. And that's all you have to work on. Okay. So record your video every day for 21 days. And I'm hoping that this gives you the impetus to go and do that. And after the 21 days, you are going to be in a place where you're going to be comfortable being on video. All right. So I hope that has helped.